Nick, you put together a 3,000-page dossier on why Brady would lose the game. Where's the dossier now, and did Tom Brady change your mind?
Let's see it. Well, you know, Jenna, you guys can put me on camera. It's okay. The tears are gone. Here's the dossier. Here it is. Here it is. Look at this. I want this right here. This is early years Tom Brady in the trash. This is Tom Brady against the Rush this year in the trash.
Is it happening?
This is Tom Brady on the road in the postseason in the trash. You know why? Because the dossier.
Is it happening?
And people are like, oh, Nick, are you going to admit you were wrong on Tom Brady? Kind of. I'm kind of going to admit I was wrong on Tom Brady. And in this regard, I did think Washington would be able to get a consistent pass rush. And on the first drive, it looked like they were going to. They hit him a couple times. It was like, oh, this is exactly what we needed. But they weren't able to get a consistent pass rush. And even the few times they did get home, Brady was able to follow it up with a very good play. And so I have to give him credit. If you would have told me Washington's going to score 23, I would say perfect. That's all they need to win. I can't put this on Alex Smith not playing because Heineke came out and balled. I can't put this on some terrible turnovers. I understand Heineke did have the one pass tipped that was intercepted, but Tampa's running back had a fumble. And after that fumble, Brandon, I want to go through what happened. So Vaughn fumbles, Heineke has the great drive, and all of a sudden it's a 2-point game. And then this is what Brady does. A 9-play, 55-yard field goal to extend the lead to 5, followed by a 7-play, 69-yard touchdown drive to extend the lead to 12. And then when Heineke punched again, and it's a 5-point game, an 11-play, 75-yard, or I'm sorry, a 7-play, 58-yard drive to get the lead back to 8. The old man played very, very well in what I would have considered very tough circumstances. And so do I think Tampa can win the Super Bowl? Of course not. Do I think some of the issues they had early in the year are going to come to bite them eventually? I do. But I've been saying for a month and a half they wouldn't beat Washington, and Brady would be a big reason why. And Brady didn't make any significant mistakes. He led critical drives in a game that was closer than I think most people thought, and I got to give the man credit for it. So this was not his last playoff game ever. Next week will be. But this was not, and he had one more great moment. I'm happy for him about it. Like, I mean, that's what happened.
Nick, I'm not trying to kick a man. I'm not trying to kick a man while he's down. But man, it's not only been a couple of weeks. It's been a couple of years of you bashing Tom Brady and trying to say that this is the last game, the last year that we see Tom Brady, noodle arm Tom Brady. But look, I'm not trying to kick you while you down. I love that you stood up and said, you know what? I'm kind of wrong here. But look, I said it last week. Sometimes on television, it doesn't matter what channel you turn on. All we hear is X's and O's, and we hear about all these statistics, and we don't talk enough about the mindset of these players. I said it last week. This dude is on a mission. I remember being in the locker room. I remember being in the organization, in the building, and working on those little details, knowing that if I could get my steps right at the top, then I'll catch more balls. So when you think about Tom Brady and how he looks in the pocket, how he's moving in the pocket, escaping, and he's elusive, and then how he's throwing and he's following through, there's more zip on his ball. He's more explosive. And I'm telling you, this guy is on a mission. I'm not looking at his age. We know he's 43. I'm looking at his mentality. There's a reason why this guy is still playing. Something has to be wrong with you to still be playing football at 43. I sit here at 36 years old watching football every Sunday, and every time someone gets hit, I cringe like, oh, is he going to get up? So when you think about him, think about his mentality. And when a guy has that type of mindset to go out there and give everything he has and do what he needs to go to the next level, you have to respect that and you have to put that first. So I see him at the beginning of the season. Where's the zip? Where's the spin? Where's your mobility in the pocket? And then you compare him to where he's at now, Wilds. I would have to say this dude is on his way to the next Super Bowl. This is his 14th championship, right? He's on his way there. It will be his 14th.
Okay, so I thought it was Tom Brady and friends. AB had another touchdown. Mike Evans, Brandon, you scared me about these ankle sprains. He's back looking great. Spend some time at House of Athlete, get it wrapped up, and get ready to go. The other Brady friend, remember I told you, Nick, I said it last week. I said, when in doubt, you can call on big old Gronk to block Chase Young. Gronk had some timely blocks there. Chase Young ends up with 0 sacks, 0 QB hits, 0 worries for Tom Brady. Now, let's start looking forward as you're worried about the Saints. Tom Brady is not losing 3 games to one team. He's just not. Never has in his career. Maybe in junior high school or in a rec league because he didn't all in college and he didn't in the pros. So I cannot imagine that he's going to lose to the Saints for the 3rd consecutive time. If anything, I think that I'd be nervous as if I was saying, we got this guy twice. Now the 3rd time.
Wait a second. While I agree it's hard to beat a guy 3 times, what Wild just said there might have been the most misleading nonsense stat I've ever heard.
What did I say?
Said he never lost to the same team 3 times in college. It's impossible to play the same team 3 times in 1 year in college. That's first of all. In the NFL,
I don't make the schedule.
It's literally impossible. You can't do it. And in the NFL, the only teams you can play 3 times in a year would be teams in your division that make the playoffs. So that means Tom Brady's whole career, he went every year without losing 3 times to the Jets, the Bills, and the Dolphins. Congrats. Guess what? So did every other quarterback alive
for 2
in NFL history.
So played for 2 of those teams. Stop the disrespect.
But okay, that's fine. But I do want to, speaking of respect, I do want to put respect on somebody's name who had a lot of scrutiny this year. Bruce Arians, Byron Leftwich, and their offense. When the Bucs were playing poorly, it was, they're not letting Tom Brady dink and dunk and do the high completion percentage. If you watch this game, Brady's completion percentage was not good. This isn't a knock on him, by the way. He was 22 of 40. So why were his numbers so good? Because the completions were deep down the field. Because they were taking shots. Yep. There was the element of no risk it, no biscuit, like there had been the last month of the season, and it was working. So we've got to give Arians and Leftwich credit for sticking, Jenna, to their game plan from the beginning and believing that Brady and the receivers would get on the same page, because that was a Bruce Arians-style offensive performance, not what we're usually, if Brady throws 40 passes in a playoff game, he's going to be 33 of 40 for around the same number of yards instead of 22 of 40. These were deep down the field. That's Arians.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.